Hey, welcome back. I can say thank you again for coming back to the channel. I skipped last week, not because I wanted to or I felt I needed a break, but COVID decided to enter our house and the whole family got COVID, so we had to deal with that. We're all good now. Everybody came through it, no issues. We were pretty fortunate with probably having a mild case of it, if there is such a thing. But yeah, so we're back, and today I am in Yamanashi Prefecture at one of my favorite places to go. This place has got kind of a bad reputation in Japan, if I'm being honest. But for me, it's the beauty of this place. It's unbelievable. So the name of this place is Aokigahara. There's been plenty of movies about this place, sinister movies. It does have a mystique to it and some historical tales, folklore, I guess, behind it. It's referred to in the Western world as suicide forest because of the amount of unfortunate suicide deaths that happen in this region, which is not good. And I'm fully aware of when I come into this location that to just keep my eyes open and then prepare yourself for whatever. I don't venture too far off the trail just because of that. I'm here to capture the beauty and, if anything, hopefully change the perception of this place, because I think a lot of people avoid this place or they come here looking for the wrong thing, and I don't like that. You should come here and enjoy the beautiful nature that it is, because it's unbelievable. I'll show you some of this. I mean, and this is winter time currently. Still, well, we're coming out of winter, so it's not as lush and green as it will be. But as you can see, I mean, there's all this moss, kind of rolling gentle hills through here, and this is at the base of Mount Fuji. So what this is lava fields from previous eruptions from Mount Fuji, and there's not hardly any topsoil. It's what makes this really neat, and you'll see a lot of these neat root structures here. So these trees just find however they can to dig themselves into the ground, and they'll be perched up on these lava mounds, these lava rocks, and you can feel it. I mean, the ground kind of gives way in some areas, so you got to be really careful through here where you're stepping, because you could just fall into a hole here. So I'm very cognizant of that, so I try to take precaution when I can. But these trees grow, I mean, it's fascinating. I'll show you an example here. For instance, I found this. The light's still a little harsh, so I'm not photographing yet, but I'm just kind of out scouting. As you can see how these trees grow up on here, and there's all these unique roots that kind of come up, and this tree's finding a way to survive. And I think it's amazing. So we'll do some exploring up here today. I'm gonna, again, make a lot of mistakes, probably not take too many good photos, but hopefully I come away with something, right? So if anything, every day I'm out photographing, I'm learning something, because I'm not a professional, and I'm on a journey like many of you to try to get decent. Plus it gets me out in nature, forces me to learn, and that's my whole point with what I do. Just get out and learn and explore, and hopefully get better at being a photographer while you're at it. Okay, so I will take you on this little mini adventure in Japan, in Yamanashi Prefecture, Aokigahara. Okay, I think I've found my first composition. This evening's more of a scouting trip, because I find it's difficult in the woodland when there's clear skies and it's pretty bright, and there's these patchy, I don't like these patchy spots of light through the image typically, so I try to avoid that. But what I got here is some pretty fantastic root structure. There's a cave just below me with an old Japanese shrine. But on the edge here, you have these fantastic root systems of these trees just hanging on to the cliff, and it's pretty awesome. I'll show you on the back of the camera what I'm looking at. Okay, so brighten this up. So this is what I'm looking at here. As you can see, you've got these systems of roots that they're kind of draping down, and they're on the edge of this cliff right here. I got a little bit of directional light coming in. There's that fallen tree in the background. I kind of like that because it adds some depth to my image. I don't like these little things of light through here, but that's something I'll just have to deal with. I may shoot this as a pano. I may take several iterations and maybe focus right in here. I don't know. I'm going to shoot a few compositions to see what I like. I just find it unique, and I find it kind of interesting, this root system on this edge of this cliff. This is what the Aokigahara forest will give you right here. All this kind of neat little moss-covered tree root systems. Pretty neat. Yeah, so that's the composition I've kind of worked out. If it turns out and if it's any good, I'll post that picture now. Okay, I think I found my next composition here. Got this large Japanese cedar here, but I like this. I got this light over here on this, as you can see, in this little young pine tree, or young cedar. I'm not sure what it is. I like how the light's back here on it, and I've got this large unique tree again with the root systems down here in the bottom. There's a lot of separation here between the other stuff, so I can take the long lens, I feel like, and I can kind of compress that, and then probably with the low aperture, I don't know, kind of let it fall off on its own. That's what I'm thinking in my mind. I don't know if it'll work or not. Hopefully I'll figure it out. I gotta be careful though, because the wind is kind of blowing. So I gotta make sure my ISO is high enough and I've got enough shutter speed to slow or to freeze any kind of movement. Man, I tell you what, I love this woodland stuff, because I mean, look how chaotic that is. Trying to pick something out of it. Come on. All right, let's try to get after it. Okay, I think I've got my composition. What I'm having to do here is I'm probably going to manually bracket this. I am going to manually bracket this, just to make sure that that highlighted pine tree in the back, or that cedar tree, is not blown out. This Nikon Z7 does a really good job, so I can have the shadows a little darker, but I'd prefer not to, because I like to pull out some of that detail in the shadows and make sure it's not just so heavily contrast. So what it looks like in the back of the camera, and I'll show you in a little bit, it looks like I have a V, and I'm putting that main pine tree in the center, and it kind of V's out, because I've got another tree in the background that's catching a little bit of light that kind of, in my eye, helps balance it out. Highlighted pine tree on the right. I think it looks pretty neat. Now, you never know, right? So let's see how we can screw this up. All right. Okay, as I was talking about earlier, you've got the pine tree right in here. You got light behind the tree. This main tree here, it's got a pretty neat little root system. So I just got to make sure I get enough of it, get everything in frame. And I like how it kind of sweeps up. I like this tree leaning in, kind of keeping your eye in the center of the frame. And then over here you have this other tree in the background that's catching a little, it's hard to, well, it's not currently, but it'll catch a little bit more light here in a second as the clouds move through. All in all, I feel like it works. Just got to make sure I take care of this over on the right hand side. I could really blow this out and run it, so I don't want to do that. All right, if it's any good, I'll post it on here next. Okay, I made it back to the vehicle. I'm actually going to get out of the forest and then head over and check out a waterfall while I got some daylight left. I'm coming back to the forest tomorrow morning because it's supposed to be cloudy tomorrow. It's supposed to be better for light, I think. Hopefully it's not too cloudy. It's just maybe a light cover. It gives me a little bit of soft light is what I'm hoping for. We'll see. I mean, it's kind of harsh now, and I really don't like shooting in these conditions. I mean, I just wanted to get out and get into the nature. After you've had COVID and stuck in the house for a while, you just got to get out. I am finding it a little hard though for finding my creativity. I don't know. Some days it's good. Some days you get out there and you just get in the flow and it's on. And then some days you're just like blah, you know. So I'll keep plugging away. Maybe this waterfall would energize me, get some of those negative ions in me. All right, I'll see you over there in a second. It's a pretty neat little waterfall. It's not too far from here, and hopefully we can find something to shoot there. All right, we'll see you in a second. Oh, okay, I finally made it here to this waterfall. It's called Jinba Falls. I've been here a few times already in the past. I quite like it. It's pretty simple. It's got a lot of character, a couple of different flows that come off of it. You got the main I don't know what you'd call it, main water source where it falls out, and then there's a couple other side areas. So I'll take you down here and check it out, and then I'm gonna decide what I'm gonna do tomorrow. I don't know if I'm gonna stay here and go back to the Aokigahara forest, or I might go down to Lake Matotsu. I think they're just calling for some fog, so if there's fog down there, I'm gonna go to the lake. All right, but let's go down here and check this waterfall out real fast. So as you can see, this is quite something here. I'm actually a little surprised. This is the first time I've been here in the winter time, and the main waterfall is not flowing. But you got these side outlets. So I guess where this waterfall gets fed from is Mount Fuji. Now, I don't know that because I'm well educated on Mount Fuji and how the water flows. I read the sign on the way in. So I guess from the melt off from Fuji, it's usually fed, and I guess it hasn't really started melting off yet as much. So the flow isn't as strong. So you got these side outlets that come, but most of this is fed from out of the ground. You got one that's coming off. There is a small river up here, right, that feeds it, but then a lot of it comes from right out of the ground, which is the case for a lot of the waterfalls in Japan that I've found. And I'll show you some footage, some B-roll footage of some of these little outlets. But it's flowing all around us. It's just not the main waterfall. I'll show you here. The main fall comes out of the top right over here, and it's not flowing. But a little surprised, but I'm kind of happy too, because it's always something different, right? It's never the same when you go to places. It's constantly changing, so that's why I've been here probably 10 times. So, and I've never seen this like this, or seen the water like this. So I'm gonna find something, and I think there's a lot here. So I'm gonna find something to shoot while I got some light left, and then figure out where I'm gonna sleep tonight. Okay, that was a quick little visit. There's quite a few people here, and I'm not that comfortable yet vlogging in front of other people. I mean, I'm not that bad, but it's kind of weird. But a little surprised by the waterfall. Not quite what I expected. I'll have to come back in the summer and show you when it's really raging. It's pretty neat, pretty fantastic. There is something over here though. Look at that light. I think I'm gonna set up and take a picture of this. I thought I was leaving. Guess not. Alright, I don't know if you can see what I'm looking at here. Try to brighten it up. But I got a lot of light coming in from up here on my left-hand side. That's where the sun's at. And it's casting this nice glow down. It's kind of fading now. There's like a really nice reddish glow. So I'm trying to isolate these 3 trees in this frame. The 3 main trees. One on the left, center, and right. And I'll probably do a 1-to-1 crop on this. There's a shelter over here, or a awning, or gazebo over here on the right hand side that I don't really like and don't want it in the frame, but so I'll do a 1-to-1 crop. I really like that grass though. This tree's got that soft light on the side of it. Yeah, so it should be nice. I like it. I don't really know what I'm doing half the time, so I just turn knobs and move sliders in Lightroom. That's what I do. Well, as you can see with this image, it turned out quite nice. I actually quite like this one. I didn't include any of the waterfall images because, to be honest with you, I don't think they turned out as well as I would have liked them. But this one, you know, as I was walking out, it caught my eye, as you see in the video, and I thought it looked quite nice with the light, how it kind of enters in from the left. It was just touching the grass in the foreground and throughout the image. I decided to leave it as a 4x5 because I like that limb coming across the top of the pine trees. Well, this was the last image that I took for the day. There's quite a bit of footage left, and I'm going to break these up into 2 parts. And I will be shooting from Lake Matotsu and Mount Fuji in the next video, also back into Aokigahara Forest for some other nice images that I was able to capture the following day. So I do again appreciate you subscribing and following the channel. If you get a chance, hit the like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.